I'm live. Clearly, I don't have enough light on me. That's better. Let me do this a little bit. Trying to raise it. I'm on my laptop. I gotta remember the camera's here. So, my basic FBAScan triggers and live book scanning is the name of this video. There was a viewer who wanted a video about both of these things, so I decided to make one for him and hopefully for other people. Now, I do have basic triggers set up on FBAScan, and because I'm using my laptop, I can show you. Those on my phone here. Hopefully you can see it. Kind of see it. So I'm gonna jump into that real quick. And now you have triggers set up, so I don't rely on them per se, as in I don't have have it vibrate or have the phone make a noise. I don't just scan and never look at my phone. I scan and then I quickly look and then I scan again. So I do have the trigger set up, so there's colors. It'll be green according to the triggers if it says I should buy it, if it has the right sales rank and all that stuff. So if it falls within the parameters. Hello, glad you could come. Add. I guess I'll call you. Adso. I don't know. I'm not going to try names here, but thanks for coming. I mess up some names. Basically I have the triggers set up and I'm going to show you the triggers and then I'm going to put what I have into the description once I finish the video. So you don't have to actually watch the video. You can, hello, Jameson, how you doing? So you can actually see what they are without watching the video. If you're watching this at a later date, I'll have them below in the description. The triggers for books and for CDs for FBAScan. So I guess I'll just launch right into it. Again, I do have the triggers, but I don't rely on them. I mean, it helps me when I see green. It doesn't always mean that I'll buy the book or that I'll want to send it into FBA, but it's definitely worth looking at if I see a lot of green on the screen. Usually it's right most of the time, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes when it's not green, it's still a book that I would like to sell FBA and occasionally merchant fulfilled, a book or a CD. Also, it could be, actually, I don't have triggers for video games or anything like that, but at any rate, so here's the FBAScan. It's kind of difficult to see, which sucks. I'm just going to go into basic triggers, book. Now, let me see if you guys can see this. Wow, that is difficult to see. I'm wondering if there's a better way. Maybe if I don't use the light. That doesn't help. Wow, that really sucks. There you go. You can kind of see it there from that angle. Can you guys see that? So I have 7 triggers. If you can't see it, I'm just going to read it off. You can kind of look at it at an angle. So I have, let me see if this will work better. You can kind of see it there, guys. I have 7 triggers from 100,000 sales rank and under, and all the way up to, well, 10 million. But basically, the ones that I really pay attention to, or the ranks that I pay attention to, are from, like, for books anyway. This is for books now, not CDs. Is about 1 million to 2 million and below. Now you can see it because it's lighter. And let's see, my first trigger is the price is $5.50, and then 100,000 or less, and then it goes to $6. It goes up by $5 increments, and then it goes up by from 100,000 to 250,000, 500,000 to $1 million to 2 million, and then over that, I'm basically it gets ridiculous. I don't usually source a book that that has wow, this light is really bright. I don't usually source books that are over a couple million unless it's something that's priced really well and it's actually sold for a good dollar amount and it has a steady demand. Even if that steady demand is only a couple sales a year, I could do merchant fulfilled for it. So for music CDs, there. Anyway, it's basically, that is really impossible to see. It's ridiculous. So for music CDs, I go start at $10,000 and $4.50, 10,000 rank and under, and then it jumps up to 50,000. And again, it goes up 50 cents, $4.50, $5. So $4.50 for 10,000 rank, $5 for 50,000 and under rank, $5.50 for $100,000 at rank, and then it jumps up to $8 for 150,000 and under rank because CDs are different than books, and then up to $8.50 and 200,000 rank. Basically, anything over 100,000 for CDs has to be going for pretty decent money. That's why I have it jump up to $8 when it gets to 150,000. If it's around 100,000, a little bit more, it's averaging that over 3 months. That's not too bad. It means it's selling pretty steady. But once you get over 150,000 or more, the price has got to be a little bit higher. So then 200,000 is $8.50, and then it jumps up to $10 for 300,000 or less or under, and then it jumps up to $20 if it's $500,000 or under. I've sold. Hello, South London reseller. So I take it you're in London. Cool. So yeah, it jumps up to $20 because if there's one that's over 300,000, between 300,000 to 500,000 rank, current rank for a CD, then it's going to have to be priced pretty high, definitely over $20 if I'm going to send it in. Okay. You can see it like that. I'm trying to figure out how to see it, how you guys can see it, because I was going to scan some books. It's just that because it's so bright. Actually, that's even better. Actually, is it backwards for you guys? Well, anyway. So I'm just going to scan a few books. So I pulled 5 books off of my own personal bookshelf, and I actually don't know if these books are any good for FBA, but they're my own books that I've read in the past or used either in school or just read personally. So I'm going to go through these, and then I went to the thrift store today for a couple hours, and I bought, I don't know how many books. I only spent $16. Most of the books were either 35 cents or 55 cents. And then there were a couple that were 85 cents and one that was $1.50, but most of them were 55 cents or less. So it was a great deal, and I found a lot of quick sellers and also a couple of potential bigger money ones. Well, over $20, and I found one that has potential for a lot more. But anyway, so here we go. So I already have my scanner. Oh no, not backwards. Yes, UK, London, not Canada. Okay, cool. Oh, it's not backwards. Good. So when I do it like this, can you see that? Jeez. Because when I just go like that, oh, there it is. You can see it. Okay, cool. All right. So, well, that's the first one. I already scanned it. You guys have probably seen this, the Norton, what are they called? The Norton Anthology of English Literature. This is one that I used in school. It's huge. It's really heavy. But this is an older one, clearly, but it's, I looked it up, and this one, let me show you. You take a quick look. So it's got 20 FBA offers, 66 merchant fulfilled, used offers, and then of course there's some new ones. I don't pay too much attention to the new ones, and And the rank, so the rank on the left is 397, which is the current rank, and the other, the 664,000 is the rolling 3-month rank, which is the one that's more important. And then the days with sales, 59, which I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that means it's out of 6 months, and I believe that 59. Make sure you can see it. That 59 days out of those 6 months there was a sale. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't use that as much. I'm more interested in the sales rank, the price, the lowest price, how many FBA offers, and how many merchant fulfilled offers. The rank is fluid. It's always changing on a daily basis, actually hourly, I believe. But it's important to know how it's done over the past few months. So this one is not done well. It's a book, so it's done decent. But what I would do for this, if I was looking at it in the out in the world there, or sourcing it, is I would hit this little button here on the bottom, that little cross, which is Keepa. So it'll show you the 3-month. Woo. That is not going through. There it is. That is tough to see. It has some sales, but it's kind of choppy. But then when you look at the full year, if you can actually make it out, you can see that the dips here. Whoops, what did I just do? Okay, there's a dip in here coming up because of back to school, and then also there was from last year there was a dip in January and into February. So anyway, and this one has, oh, there it goes. The lowest offer is $14, but then it jumps up to $20. So you know, that. Sorry guys, looking at the chat. So you know that somebody, or that a lot of people are thinking that's going to go for good money. So it goes from 20 to jumps up to 27, 29, 34, 36. Sometimes I look to see how experienced these sellers are. The first 3 don't have very many, haven't made that many sales. The fourth one has sold way more than I have, 29, almost 3,000. What do you call it? Feedback ratings. So by the way, just for context, I have just over 400 on my account, and I've been doing it for almost 4 years. And I've sold thousands, like multiple thousands of books and CDs. So, I mean, easily, like, I don't even know. I don't even know exactly, but thousands. So you have to sell a lot, because a lot of people don't get feedback. So I would look at that, but I would basically say that I might send it in if I got it for pretty cheap. It's pretty heavy, so that's the problem. So even if, let's say it cost me 55 cents, even $1, you can change it here. So let's say it cost $1. So, and I listed it, sold it for $20.43. You can see the profit up there is $6.81. Oh, something happened on eBay. I got a bid. Okay. So even at 20 bucks, because it's so heavy, it's not a big profit item. But even if you got it for $1 and you send it in and it's sold during back to school in the next month or so, 2 months, it's probably worth it. Oh, so you asked me how much is the app. So it's actually, this is just live. So this is only $9.99 a month. I believe that the database is a little bit more, but this is only $10 a month. Here's another one. Here's this book. So I'm using my scanner, my KDC scanner. So here's this one. So look at how many merchant fulfilled offers. There's 163, which is a lot. There's 11 FBA, which is a good amount used, and there's a couple of new FBAs as well. This one's not going for very much, 849. Oh, chat went away. Okay. And then the rank is 214 and 215. So the rank's pretty, it's decent for books for sure. Don't get me wrong. That would be really high for CDs, but for books, that's not bad. But when I look at the Keepa chart, I would pass on it. I wouldn't even look at the chart. I'm just showing you guys, well, if you could see it. Basically, the 365 days, it has consistent sales, but not enough. There's too much competition. It's not a book that I would send in, even if I got it for free or cheap. Yeah, definitely database could be worth it. I haven't had too many problems with connections yet. The sale I went to last weekend where I got those 74 books and CDs, I did have a few issues for a little bit, but then it was fine. It started working fine. That's really the only one, though. I haven't been to any other. I haven't had any issues. There was one thrift store I went to. For some reason, I didn't get any reception, but that was the only one I've ever been to that happened. So I understand that. I understand why people do it and pay more money because you can download the database and it's instant, it's faster, and you don't have to worry about the connection. I get it, but I haven't had too much of a problem. And the live lookup is it's not as fast, but it works for me. Okay, here's the next book, The Bloody Chamber. These are school books. Okay, this one's good now. So the first thing that I notice. Oh, okay. Yeah. The one last week, it's in a Jameson said it's in the East Coast in Connecticut. It seems like they're all held in dungeons. Yeah, definitely the one last week was it's in a smaller room and it's pretty, the reception was not that great, but I was able to get it to the point to where I was going pretty fast through the scanning, but definitely I haven't had that much of an issue. I went to another book sale where no, that reception was fine. It was on a basement. Also, there's no basements here though. So East Coast, they have basements. Okay, sorry. So let me finish this. So this is a good book because the first of all, everything's green. And the lowest FBA price is $10.60. So as you can see from the profit, even if I spend $1 on the book, it's still $3.69 profit. Now I have the inbound shipping in here as well, and cost of goods, and of course the FBA fees. So the inbound shipping is going to vary for everybody, basically, whether you're getting split shipments and whatnot. But take that into consideration. It might be more or less for you, whatever. And the rank is good. There's a lot of FBA offers, 27, but I'm willing to bet that this is a book that sells a lot during. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but there we go. The dips down in August and September. Right there at the very end of August, beginning of September, there's a dip. So this is definitely, that's the reason why there's so many copies. You want to sell it in the back to school. When everybody's going back to school to buy in August and September, if you're going to send it in, because otherwise it'll probably sit for a little bit until the next one. So apparently I have some books on my shelf that are good for reselling. Okay, now, which one is this? Oh, it's. Well, this one that I have is not very good. The Toughest Indian in the World by Sherman Alexie. There's no green. It's not a good one. Yeah, the rank is 740,000 for 740,000 for the current rank, and then it's 503,000 for the rolling 3-month rank. So I would definitely not send that one in. There's this one, The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde, by Junot Diaz, great book. The hardcover. This one has a lot of FBA copies, and the lowest is no green, as you can see. There's some. $7.11. I'm willing to bet that they're pretty low. Yeah. This is not one that I would send in either. Negative 19 profit if it would cost me $1. So those are the 5 that I pulled off my shelf. There's a couple. There's what, 3 of them? Yeah, not too bad. 3 of them that I would probably send in. South London reseller. What are your long-term storage fees like? They sent me a report. When was that? A while ago? Well, kind of recently. I don't think it was too bad. I think they showed me the 6-month and the 12-month, and it was, I don't remember exactly. I think it was under $50, but that was before I repriced a bunch of that older stuff, and I've sold off some of it. I mean, definitely not all of it. We got less than a month before that hits, so I'll probably end up having to discard some of that. Some of the stuff that just, it's no matter how low I put the price, it's probably not going to sell. I'll probably have to get rid of a little bit of it, but not too bad. So my long-term storage fee projected one for the first month was not too bad. Warren asks how many units. Oh, you seem to be on top of it. Kind of. So here's the thing about being on top of inventory is really important nowadays because of the increased fees. Especially the monthly fee, the storage fee, not so much, but more the long-term storage fee. You want to sell your books and CDs and your media, I mean, everything within 6 months or less, unless it's going to go for big money. I mean, it doesn't have to be huge money. If it sells for $25, $30 and you got it for pretty cheap, whether it's a book or CD or other media or whatever it is, if there's enough profit in it and it takes you 8 months or 9 months, but if you get to 12 months, it's got to be going for a lot of money, and you got to look at the numbers. But aside from that, I would try to basically sell things within 6 months. And so because of that, it's important to stay on top of your inventory, especially when August 15th hits. From then on, every single month, we're going to get hit with those short and long-term, or 6-month and 12-month long-term storage fees. So is it worth it to keep a book or a CD or whatever you're sending in, a video game, whatever it is, an audiobook, for to keep it in there for another month or two and accrue those additional costs, whatever the cost is, whether it's 30 cents, whether it's 50 cents, whether it's $1, I mean, however long it's been there, whatever point you've gotten to. I believe at 12 months, it's 50 cents minimum. Okay. Nice to see you. Yeah, so sorry, I got to focus. When I look at the chat and then while I'm talking, it doesn't work. So I got to keep focused here and then I'll look at the chat. So yeah, it's important. I try to keep on it, right? Items that sell within 6 months, I'm gotten much better with that. My turnover rate last month and this month is around 30% or more, which is great for me. It's the highest it's ever been. And then it's important to keep on top of those older items and reprice them. I don't have too many that are going to get 6 months or that have been there. What do you call it? That August 15th will have been there more than 6 months. There's not that many of them that I have. My inventory level, where am I? Because I'm on my laptop, I can look it up I can look it up on the app too. So active, just Amazon. So right now, who asked me this? Warren asked me. My inventory is, where did it go? 1,132 in FBA. And then merchant fulfilled, I have, 205. So 1,300 total for both. But just FBA, 1,132 as of right this second. I have a few sales today, 4. I don't know what it is about the sales, but my Prime Day, the day before the full day of Prime Day, I had 20 sales, and then the next day I had, I can't remember, 13 or so, and then yesterday I had 20 sales. So sales are going really well. I don't know if it's residual sales from Prime Day or what's going on, but it's great. Today only 4, but it should creep up a little bit. Honestly, for my inventory level, if I break 10 a day on average. I'm pretty happy with 300 or more sales because I don't have a huge inventory. I mean, I would love to sell through 50% of my inventory or more, but because they're books and CDs, it's unlikely that that's going to happen, because it's not gonna. I'm not sending in one type of product, 100 copies of one product that's selling like hotcakes, and I can just sell through everything. So anyway. South London reseller asked, is it cheaper to destroy or sell at a loss if you have a load of high rank junk? Well, let's see. So if you have it sent back to you, it's 50 cents here in the States. And if you have it destroyed, it's 15 cents. So if you had 100 items destroyed, basically Amazon takes possession of them. That's, my math is right, that's $15. That's not too bad for 100 items just to have them gone. You can reprice them, give them a little bit of time. That's why I repriced earlier this month a bunch of stuff. I should go back soon, hopefully before the end of the month, and look at those older ones and see how much is left. There's probably still a good amount. Got 100 or so that I repriced. Yeah, anyway, so reprice those. It depends is the answer is my answer to your question. It depends on how low the prices are. You'll see the fees and how much the fees are. I mean, if the fees are $6 and you have to go below $6, try to sell it, then you're clearly at a loss. So it might make more sense. It might make more sense to just destroy it. So it just depends. You have to do the math. You have to see how much potential profit is in there, even selling it at a lower price than you wanted to. And even if, you're going to break even, it's better than losing money, of course, right? And it's easier just to sell it. Maybe you'll get another good review or rating or whatever. So Jameson asked, no, I do not use Inventory Lab. Sorry. Okay, one comment at a time. I do not use Inventory Lab, but I do use AccelerList to list because it enables me to see which warehouse things are going to, so I can put them in piles, put stickers on them. Unfortunately, I get a lot of splits. I dropped off my latest FBA shipment today at FedEx. It was 146 items, and it was 9 warehouses. One of them only got 2 CDs, but the reason I went with it is because one of them was a high-priced video game. The rest of them had 5 or more items going to the warehouses, the other 8 warehouses. So it was $68 to send 146 items. The reason it was more expensive was because most of them were books, and books are heavier than CDs. Yeah, I don't know why I started talking about that. Yeah, so I kind of get off on tangents, guys. But yeah, you could destroy the whole lot for 15 cents a piece, or you could reprice them. I suggest repricing them first and then wait until maybe, a week or 5 days or whatever. Set aside some time and just go through. And you can do it pretty quick. You can just go down, select all of them or select them individually, the ones you want to get destroyed, and do a bulk what do you call it, removal order, and then it's pretty easy, right? And they'll charge you 15 cents each, unless there's ones that you want to get back, which you probably don't. Okay, so back to Inventory Lab. I do not use Inventory Lab. I use AccelerList, and I have it connected to my Dymo 450. I'm not experienced or familiar with printing with the Dymo through Amazon's Seller Central. I believe there is a service that's like $5 a month. It's like Click Label something or other that I've heard of but never used. You can possibly look into that. I don't know if anybody on here has any experience with the Dymo 450 label printer and using it through Seller Central. If you do, you can maybe help Jameson out. Oh yeah, I can put my link to AccelerList. That's fine. AccelerList is pretty simple. The great thing about AccelerList is it's created by people that are sellers, backed by people that are sellers, and they're really responsive about not only issues with the software, but making changes to it. So they have a pretty active Facebook group where you can make suggestions or basically say, you guys really need to have this function, and they'll do it. They have this great function called the holding area. Because of all the split shipments, it becomes a pain as you list and you get another warehouse. So they have a button to say, put in the holding area, reject, but put in the holding area, and it'll keep all the information that you put in. So the condition notes and the price and everything else and your SKU, and it'll drop it in the holding area. Because I find what happens is I'll get like a stack of 20, and then at the end, I'll go back and go through them, and lo and behold, Amazon has changed the warehouse frequently to one of the warehouses I already have accepted and have other items going to, and then that pile will go down, and I'll inevitably be left with, like this time I was left with about 5 items I couldn't send in because it wasn't worth it fiscally to pay for the shipping for just sending 1 or 2 items to one warehouse. So I'm gonna have to try another shipment. So that's kind of an example of something that they added. So that's why I really like AcceleraList. Okay. So Warren asked me, what's your average sales price? Okay. Well, I don't have a, let me see. Warren, where am I? Business reports. So June, this is the fun part about doing a video on the computer. So June, Warren, I had 300 sales. I had $11.46 ASP, or average sale price. Yeah. For July, which is, so July 1st through today, it's almost the same. 245 sales and $11.85 average sale. Excuse me, average sale price. So again, I kind of have prices that are all over the place. I mean, I sold, I told you yesterday that I had a merchant fulfilled sale. It's not FBA, but I had a merchant fulfilled sale that was $150 if you didn't see the video. And then I'll sell or make sales FBA for like higher priced school books for, you know, $40, $50, a higher price CD for $20. So the ASP is all over. And then I'll have CDs that sell for $8.99, $9.99, sometimes $7.99, you know, where I'll make a profit, not very much profit, but I'll make a profit because those were CDs that I got from a Gaylord, and I paid probably like a nickel to 10 cents for them. So getting a $1.50 payout is worth it. So yeah, so because of some of the lower price CDs, because they're small and lightweight, the FBA fees are a little bit less than for books. So I can go lower. I mean, I can't, unless the book is small, I'm not going to sell a book for $7.99 and make profit. Even a $9.99 small, lightweight paperback is not going to be much profit. It just depends on the dimensions and the size and the weight. But there's still some money in that price range, $10 to $11. But definitely that is because of my CDs, it brings down my average sale price. But I'm okay with that because I'm still making sales. Okay. So here's a book that I found today. Feel free to ask questions, guys. Make comments, no problem. Whoops, the chat disappeared. I don't know where the chat, there it is. The price is written inside of the book or on the cover. And regardless of which it is, what do you call it? Permanent, like actual ink from a pen. I mean, there's a magic eraser. I've heard of that before, but I don't know if that's for ink. I've never used it, but I've heard of that. That's a possibility. But like this one doesn't have the price, but it has writing on the inside, and I just have to put that in the condition note that there's a former owner or whatever wrote on the inside of the front end paper, kind of a deal. Oh, inside. Oof. So what if you can't find a way to erase the ink, the price, then I would suggest two options. You can use whiteout or something similar, because especially, if it's, well, it doesn't matter. Even if it's like this kind of page and it has, $1 or whatever, just use a little whiteout. It doesn't matter. If the book's, unless the book is brand new or like in like excellent condition, well, then you're just gonna have to downgrade it maybe to very good or good or whatever. You can still make profit off of it. But I would say you could do whiteout or maybe find those little like circular or whatever size white stickers, and you can put it over. That's another way. But I'd say whiteout would work. That'd be my suggestion. Is that common where you live? Is it common in the UK, or at least where you source? Because here I find that, so where is it? So this place uses this, what is it called? I forgot the name of it, but it's like a crown, but it's like wax or something, and it comes off with Goo Gone. Some of the covers that are more paperish, like not as slick, it doesn't come off, and I've learned the hard way to not even try, because it'll just smear it everywhere, and then it's like this big red or black, like huge circular ugly like stain, which I just did to a spine of a book that I bought. Only spent 78 cents on it. I'll probably try to sell it on eBay, but anyway, so it's usually this stuff, or it's a sticker on here. Occasionally at book sales, I'll see in pencil, thankfully, they'll write the price here, $1, $2, $3, whatever, and you can erase it, but that's not too common. Wax pencil. Thank you, Warren. Wax pencil. So a color wax pencil, whatever. Yeah, that's what some of the places use, but it comes off. It's more work, but it's not that big a deal. Sorry, some of you guys, so what's your minimum? Warren said, thanks. So what's your minimum you would be looking for with books? Minimum selling price? Depends on the size and weight, but for a typical lightweight paperback, if I'm paying $1 or less, I would probably want to stay $10 and up. But definitely, would you cherry pick a book you expect to sell for $14 to $16? If your cost of goods is not much more than $1, then yeah. Okay, so here's an example. So this book, Worth Every Penny, was actually where'd it go? $1.48 hardcover. It's actually not that heavy, but it is a little bit bigger. So the dimensions and the weight matter. And it has a rank of 58,000 currently, and a 260,000 rank over 3 months. The lowest, there's 5 FBA offers, the lowest one. And look at the merchant fulfilled offers. The lowest is $9.32. I love to see that. So $14.93, and then there's another $14.93, and then it goes to $16, goes up a little bit. There's a new one for $17.78. Is that Amazon? I think that's Amazon. Oops, that is Amazon. The rank's good. It's selling 79 sales. It's selling pretty quickly. So I spent $1.50, but my profit would be $4.41. What happened to the chat? So your question, $14 to $16, then I would say, yeah. As an example, this is an example for me that I would send it in because it would sell pretty quickly. Let me look at the Keepa. Yeah, sales have actually increased for this book. It's selling at a nice clip. So I feel pretty good that I can compete, or that I can sell it pretty quickly. And even if a book like that took 2 months to sell, 3 months even, it would still be profitable. Again, some people will say I'm crazy, or not crazy, but say that that's not enough profit for them, that they need, the book needs to cost less, or it needs to go for at least, I don't know, $18, or at least $20. You know, some people only buy books that are for $20 or higher. I mean, I've seen people that just do books and their average sale price is over $20. But a lot of those people focus on either textbooks / school books or just higher priced books in general. They're either they found the spots in their area where they have a consistent supply of those, or they just bust their butt to find them, maybe through a Facebook marketplace, maybe through professors they know. There's a lot of different ways. But definitely, for me, this book makes sense. So yeah, I would cherry pick plenty of books between $14 and $16 if they're going to sell pretty quickly. If they're going to take, you know, much longer, like a really long time to sell. My average, your ASP is over $20. Cool. My cost to buy is over $3. Yeah. So that makes sense though. I mean, if my average, you know, cost of goods, COGS was $3, then I would have to only send in higher priced books that are around $20 because so yeah, here's an example. So this book, if I spent $3 on it, woo. So if I put $3 in there and I put that I sold it for $19.98, so $20, I would profit $7. That makes sense. But at $14, spending $3 on it, my profit is only $2.76. Yeah. So definitely it makes sense. I mean, if it's pricier for books in your area, then that's what you have to do. So everybody's business is different. I mean, I've done a lot of bulk buying, and because it's so inexpensive, I can send in cheaper stuff because it's costing me, you know, 5 or 10 cents for a book or for a CD or whatever it may be. So Jameson said you've seen less resellers at book sales and thrift stores. So because I got into bulk for the last year and a half, I haven't done that many book sales or gone to consistently to thrift sales. But now that I've been this last couple of weeks going to thrift stores and went to a book sale, I could definitely seen less resellers. Well, thrift stores, I never really saw resellers personally, not too many, just in my area. But because I live in California, but I don't live in like LA, where there's probably much more competition. I live outside of LA, so at least there seems to be less competition in terms of garage sales, estate sales, and thrift stores. I've seen a handful of people, but not that many. Book sales, because there's books there, right? And there tends to be good books at a lot of the book sales, and they tend to be cheaper. A lot of people go there, resellers, so it makes sense. But the book sale I went to, there weren't that many, and they didn't do a very good job because I found a lot of books. So I would agree that there are less. Okay, Jameson says, what percentage of books do you do what percentage do I merchant fulfill? Not very many. I mean, I have 200, a little over 200, mostly CDs with probably a couple dozen books. And I've sold 5 in the last less than a week. So lately it's been going well, but on average, I don't get that many merchant fulfilled sales. I did a big repricing a few weeks ago, and that might have something to do with it, but I'm not entirely sure. eBay does a lot better for me in terms of sell-through. I do mostly CDs on there with some, I have some software, a dozen or so books, some video games, and some DVDs. DVDs do really well for me on eBay. I don't have that many listed right now. I sold a lot of them last few months, but I'll have some more as well for that. So what percentage of books is not very high that I do for merchant fulfilled? I try to have items be worth a little bit more money if I'm going to do merchant fulfilled because my sell-through rate is so low. Warren asks, when you prep books, how many do you do at a time? I do the entire, whether it's books or CDs, I do all of them at once. What I mean is this last time I had 74 items from the book sale, and then I had items from 3 different thrift store runs, which ended up totaling to over 100. But then I also had stuff that I had in the closet that I was unable to send in before previous shipments because it was going to different warehouses, and I was able to unload a lot of that. So that's why I had almost 150. So I do them all at once. I scan them. The reason it takes me way longer now to do a shipment because of the split shipments. If I didn't have split shipments, or if it only split, let's say, to 2 or 3 warehouses, I would be able to go a lot faster because I use this handheld scanner attached to my computer, and I can just scan the barcodes. Most of them have barcodes. Most of the books and CDs, there's some CDs that don't, some books that don't, but most of them do. And then I just list them. What do you call it? Yeah, so I mean, I just list them, put them in piles. I want to make sure I have at least 5 or more books or CDs for one warehouse before I start putting the stickers on the books and CDs. And then I'll start putting the stickers on them so that once I'm completely done, I then submit it through AccelerList to Amazon, and then I go into Seller Central, and then I can go through each shipment and prepare them. And I get boxes and packing material for free. Dumpster diving, so, well, not diving, just pulling them out of a certain few choice dumpsters that I've come across behind certain businesses. And so I have plenty of boxes, free boxes, and materials to pack with. So that doesn't cost me extra money. I just do that every few weeks or so, kind of load up. And yeah, and then, you got to do all the little bitty details of weighing it, measuring it, and all that crap. But yeah, I do it all at once, basically. Minimum weight or number of items before you send a box. What do you think is worth sending? So before, when I used to, so over a year ago, I used to, those were like the amazing days when I would not get a split and all of my items would go to a local warehouse that's like an hour drive away from me, and it would cost next to nothing, like hardly anything, even for heavy books. And I would always do either less than 50 or less than 100. Well, I would do less than like around 40 to 50 because I could fit it in one medium-sized box and it wouldn't be over 50 pounds. But nowadays, I just do it all at once because I know I'm going to get split shipments. If I suddenly started not getting split shipments and everything went to one warehouse, I wouldn't even care where it was. Even if it was all the way in Florida, or if it was all the way in Connecticut, or if it was all the way in New Jersey or South Carolina, if they all went to one warehouse, then that would be great. I would just then have to do box content information because I would have to, it would be heavier if they're books, heavier than 50 pounds. So then I would probably change the way I do it, and I would do smaller shipments. But because I get so many split shipments, I just do it all at once because I know I'm going to have multiple warehouses. Okay. Jameson says, apparently in the UK, which I did not know, I've only been to the UK once when I was a teenager, and I saw cats, pretty cool, in London. Oh no, what am I saying? Jameson is not from the UK. Sorry, Jameson, my fault. I guess it's not illegal there, but I'm not sure where you live. You say the East Coast, right? Yeah, cats. My mistake. Dumpster diving illegal here. No, it's legal. It depends on the city you live in. So you have to kind of check you could check with the city or just see if there's any posted signs. Like if something is, if it's locked up, a lot of times there'll be these container, like almost like a fence over the whole thing that's all locked up with a padlock. Clearly, I'm not going to mess with that. There's a couple. There's 1, 2, there's 3 dumpsters that I go to. One of them is behind a Target and a Payless shoe source. I don't think it's Target stuff though. I think it's more the Payless. But they have these really cool fillers of like air bubble things that are perfect. And then I find a lot of different size boxes. When I used to do big boxes of books to one warehouse, I would need bigger boxes, but now I need boxes of all different sizes, not only for the Amazon shipments, but also for eBay. So I grab a lot of different sizes. That's too bad that it's illegal, but it is free. It just, you have to spend the time to do it, but it doesn't take that much time. You told me your name, I think. Vidic. Okay. Vidic says, do you use Repricer for books? No, I do not. Also, how do you beat mega sellers? So by all means, if you don't use a Repricer, go for it. Try it out. I've heard Reprice It is a really good one. And there's some good videos about how to set up the templates and all that stuff. Definitely do it if you are growing your inventory to a certain size and you don't want to hassle with it. But I personally don't do it. It's just a weird thing. Maybe it's like the thought of losing control or the software making a mistake. And I know I've heard it all the time, and I'll hear it possibly in comments if somebody manages to go the 51 minutes where I'm talking about this into this video that's not watching it live, that I should get a Repricer, I'm losing money, and I'll sell a higher percentage of books, and then maybe I would, but I just don't like the idea. I wish there were not Repricers at all. I wish everybody had to manually reprice, but you know, that's not the case. So yeah, I don't have a Repricer. And then how do you beat mega sellers? Well, you're talking about mega sellers doing FBA, right? So if you're talking about mega seller, FBA sellers, honestly, I don't find it to be too big of a problem. For CDs, at least, it wasn't a problem. I'm getting back into books, and there's more competition in books because it's an open category. And I've noticed that there's a lot of brand new sellers in books, but I see less mega sellers. Do you see less mega sellers, FBA mega sellers on book listings? Vidic, let me know. But I would say, oh, so you're talking about merchant fulfilled mega sellers? Because I wouldn't worry about them. If the FBA prices are high enough, I don't even worry. The only thing I really notice, well, how should I put this? So there's no longer penny books, really. There's like $5.99, $5.98 books. CDs, there's still penny CDs, but from certain mega sellers. But I find that it doesn't matter, that there's still that FBA advantage, which is one of the big reasons that we do this. It's the FBA bump in price might not be as much as it used to be years ago, but it's still significant enough to make it worth it. So if the mega seller is at $5.99 and FBA is at $10.99, don't worry about it. You're probably, I mean, there's going to be plenty of prime buyers as long as it's an item that's selling pretty consistently. And even if it's a slower item, then you want to have less competition and you can compete against those mega sellers. Some of the most annoying ones are Jensen. No problem. Jensen, on CDs, it's Declutter. They have another one. They have 2 accounts. Forgot the name of it. But that's why I stopped doing Declutter, stopped sending my CDs there, because I didn't want to support their bottom of the barrel pricing. They just have a repricer that just always goes below the next one, and they just go all the way down till it's a penny. So I decided to not give them any more CDs. So anyway, here's another one. I'll do a couple more. I'm almost an hour into the video, which I don't mind. Oh. I got another merchant fulfilled sale. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I think it's a CD. Yeah, I think it's a CD. So okay, here's a book that's a classic that people are buying for school, In Cold Blood by Truman Capote. If you haven't read it, definitely should read it. It's a great, great book. Disturbing, but it's very well written. Oh, 85. Sorry, let me. That's right. I decided I would sell it for 11. This one's not going to go for very much money. So here's an example of a low. Sorry guys, a low. What do you call it? High demand, lower price or lower profit book. So this rank, I'm not kidding, is 437 right now. Not 437,000, but 437, and then the average 3-month rank is 878. Now the lowest current price is 1032, but then when you look at the offers, see that's a mega seller, 107,000 seller ratings. But then it jumps up to $11, and then it jumps up to $11.49. So because it's selling so often, you could. So the new price is $12.70. You could easily sell it for $1 under the new price and still sell it. So I could sell it for $11.70, 11 and change. Let me see. If I sell it for, let's say, $11.50, I'd make. Well, I don't think inbound would be that much. I make about $2 off of something that cost me 85 cents. $2 profit, right? So 285 roughly. So again, guys, it depends. This is something that is super fast. Like it's going to sell this, and the sales rank is probably going to go even lower because people will be buying it for school. So again, it depends on how much you're spending on items and what you're willing to, or what you require for your profit. This one is a longer tail one. Battles Half Won, India's Improbable Democracy. This one sells 1, 2, 3, 4 copies in the last 3 months. $13 copies in the last year. There's no FBA offers currently. And the lowest, well, the lowest one is a new offer for $11.94. But if I list it for even $12.99, I'll make about $4.50. I spent is 85 cents. So this is not typical, though. I usually don't send in too many. That'll take a little while to sell. The only reason I would do that one is because there's only 20 in total offers for the book, but yet there were 13 sales over the last 12 months, and there's no FBA offers. And the lowest merchant fulfilled price is pretty high. And that price, it stays above, well, it doesn't go much less than like $8. So it stays pretty high. This is Aristotle. This one cost me 10 cents. Oh. So 240. This is another book for school, another school book. 24,000 rank, 55,000 average rank, and the lowest price is $9.56. There's 2 low prices. No problem, Warren. You're welcome. Thanks for tuning in. And then it jumps up to $11.25 in price. So this is one that's selling pretty quick, and the sales will go up, or the pace at which it sells will increase for sure as we get closer to back to school. Let's see this one. This one costs 55 cents. This is another one that has a really high, low rank. Yeah. So here it is, 7,800 current rank, 8,600 rolling rank. The 1050 is the lowest price, but then it jumps up to 1129, and then it jumps up again to 1238, and most of the prices are above 1238. So those two lower prices are people that are trying to move it really quickly. So I can probably sell it for a little bit more and still make a few bucks off of it. Like I said, these are the lower fast moving books. Here's one that I found that's a little bit more or higher priced. So this one has a higher rank, 706,000, and the average 3-month rank is 1.16 million. So 1.1 million. Now there's an FBA offer for $29, acceptable from a large seller, from Becky apparently. And then the lowest merchant fulfilled is $19. So how often does this get sales? Well, in the last 90 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sales, almost 5 of them for at least $20. So I think that $29 price is a little bit high for FBA. So I'm probably going to price it closer to 20 bucks. And then that should be, I should be able to get a sale off of it. Even if that one took me longer than 6 months at $20, or even lowering it to, so for $19, it would be $11 profit. Even lowering it to 18 or 17 bucks, because the book is so small, so thin, lightweight, and only cost me 55 cents, that it's worth it even if it takes a little bit longer. And here's another one. This is the last one I'm going to show you because it's kind of one that has potential to be something big. So here's this one. A Prologue to Western Philosophy by Samuel Wold Johannes. This is from 2006. It's a small paperback. So when I scan it, you can see that it says hardcover. You see the prices? There's only 2 prices. That's right, $284 and $971. Now, whenever I see something like that, I'm immediately skeptical, because there's not very many books aside from some really high-priced textbooks that are going to even sell for $284. They're going to have to be really rare books. But the rank is not that bad. 2.8 million and 2.6 million. So when you take a closer look, and I want to look a longer time frame, so this is a year. 1, 2, 3, 4 sales. Oh boy, I don't know if you can see that. There it is. 4 sales. See that? But now, if you see the pricing, it's kind of all over the place. It's not where the pricing is now. But I did more of a deep dive on this on my computer. I think I have it up here. First of all, it says it's a hardcover, and it's clearly not. So they made a mistake with whoever listed that. But the picture, just so weird. The picture on here is clearly of this book, which is not a hardcover. It's a paperback. So the picture they have, but then when you click on it, it says look inside. It shows you the Kindle version. What was I going to say? So the 2 sellers are large sellers. Hawking Books has 92,000. So they're a mega seller. And the other one is Chris's Bargains for 8,300. They have 8,300 ratings, which I would consider at least a medium-sized seller. And then when you look at Keepa over the last year, was this year? It's tough to tell, but the very last sale, which was June 13th, it sold for $141. So that happened. Now, the one before it, it's tougher to tell. It either sold for $20 or for $65. But either of those is good. And then the next one, it sold for either $15 or $56. And then the other one, it was either $29 or $10. So it's kind of all over the place, but definitely this is one that is worth trying out, considering I only got it for 55 cents and there's only 2 copies. I'll have to look on eBay and see if there's any copies, but I'll see. This is where things will differ, right? People have different opinions. A lot of people would say, well, just do FBA because there's only 2 offers and there's no FBA offers. And what are the chances of somebody else going on that, another FBA offer going up there? And that's possible. I mean, that's a good strategy. But then also, if I send it in and it takes a long, long time to sell, and it gets over 6 months, how much longer do I want to wait? So the lowest price is so high right now that I think it's worth it to list it for what it sold for last, which was about $140. Maybe try like, $149.99 kind of a deal and see what happens. So that's potentially a lot of profit, or not. You never know. You don't know what the prices are going to do. If I put it up there for $20, it might sell right away. If I put it up there for 150, it probably take a while. As a side note, yesterday's video, I mentioned that I made that big sale, merchant fulfilled sale. So today I made another big sale. It was a CD. It was a Disney CD, Disneyland Resort CD, had music on it. And that one actually I sold for, I was the only listing on there, merchant fulfilled, only one at all. And it sold for, let's see if I remember correctly. Hold on. Disneyland Resort Holiday Magic Album, $74.95. So I had a $150 sale merchant fulfilled, and now I had a $75 sale. So that's pretty exciting for me because I don't get that many merchant fulfilled sales. Yeah, it was pretty nice. So between the 2 of those, what is that? $225 sales between 2. So those were 2 big pleasant surprises. You never know. I have a book listed up there related to securities, as in like investments, that I initially listed for close to $500. And then I've slowly lowered it. I think it's down to like just under 400 now. And I don't know if that'll ever sell, but it has sold for that kind of money. So that's another one that I'm holding out for. You just never know. When you come across these rare ones, it's a good idea to try it out, merchant fulfill it. I think that you want to be the lowest price. So if there's very, very few offers, as in like less than 5, if you're the only one on there, it is the best situation. But if there's like between 3 or 5 or so, and the prices are really high, and it's actually sold at least a few times in the last year, I think it's definitely worth it to just put it on your shelf, list it, put it on your shelf, and you never know. All right, guys. So this has been a long video, and it's been fun. I really enjoyed answering questions and that type of thing. I just wanted to end by talking about the importance. So the triggers are important. I mean, it's important to have some general triggers maybe in your FBAScan or whatever app you use, and to use the data. But what's really important is scanning lots and lots of books or CDs or video games or whatever that you're into selling. So for me personally, I scanned thousands of books before. Thank you, you too, Jameson. I scanned thousands of books before I got into bulk, and then I scanned many thousands after bulk as well, or once I got into bulk. But before I even, like the first 6 months, or I would say the first year or so, I mean, it was really learning what are good books to send in and what's worth your time. And the more books you scan, the better you'll become at reading the data, whether you use triggers or not. And the quicker you can make buying decisions, which is what's really important, because it's about scanning quickly, and then also knowing what to waste your time on, or not waste your time, but what to spend time on, to even bother scanning. Excuse me. Because if there's thousands of books in a book sale or in a thrift store, for instance, are you going to bother scanning every single fiction book? Probably not, but are there going to be ones that are going to stand out to you? I know for me, there's going to be certain ones that'll stand out. There's ones that I've seen a lot, I'll just not bother with, or they just don't look like they're worth money. But then there's ones that have certain colors or certain fonts or certain designs or look like they're a little older, or maybe they're newer, or just have a certain look to them because I've seen so many books. This is the same with CDs, and it's the same with vinyl as well. Is that I know whether or not to waste my time to even scan that book. Initially, you should scan. Well, I don't think you should scan all of the fiction. Well, I guess you could to start off to kind of get a feel. But definitely nonfiction, you should scan most of it if it has a barcode. If it doesn't, I suggest looking it up, even if you're pretty new, because that's how you learn. And then after a while, you'll know, for the most part, you'll know whether you should look a book up or not. Some people will say, look it up anyway, even if you've scanned thousands of books, you never know. And that's true. If you have the time and the patience, go for it. But the more books you scan, the more better off you'll be, more knowledgeable you'll be about which books are even worth your time. So I think that's pretty important. And use Keepa. Use the Keepa charts for more detailed information. Sometimes those will help you make a decision whether or not a book is worth it, or a CD or whatever is worth it. So keep that stuff in mind as you're out there. Yeah. So I appreciate you guys, all 6 of you, and those that have hung out with me for the last hour and 10 minutes. I appreciate it. Everybody that watches this in the future, thank you for watching, especially if you ended up here at the end. End of the video, you lasted this long. I really appreciate that. And if you are not yet subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. That's the best thing you can do for my channel and for me to grow this. Subscribe, leave comments below. When you subscribe, make sure that you get the notification that I have a video up. For now, they're just going to be live videos. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you have a good weekend for sourcing, whether it's a book sale or yard sale or estate sale, whatever it is, or you're doing both. So good luck to you on the weekend, and I will make a video on Monday of next week, not on the weekend, Monday and Tuesday. And then on Wednesday of next week, we're taking a mini vacation up to Northern California, the family and I. So I might or might not make some videos, live videos, while I'm on the road or whatever. Might make some, I don't know, fun videos, but we'll see. But I'll see you on Monday, guys, and thanks for watching, and keep it up, guys. Keep working hard. How do I turn this off? End stream.